I'll just go through this kind of quickly because we've already had a pretty good introduction from McLaw Associates was established in 2003. We provide, we're a small consulting firm and we specialise in the provision of operational excellence, expertise and technology solutions. We primarily focus ourselves in the service and knowledge worker area, so that's banks, building societies, insurance companies and so on. Our results to date are between 15 and 36% productivity improvements, and that's within 36 months of engagement. We've commonly doubled productivity in just about all of the service companies we've worked with so far. My own background is, as Guy said already, in operations management at multiple senior levels, from operations manager to CEO and COO and managing director. And in all of those companies, it just so happened that the companies were focused on bespoke manufacturing software systems. So all of my operations management experience has been laced with new technology to deliver effective operations solutions. Alex has an extensive operations background as well at a very senior level in a number of companies, and I suppose his major skill is growing and developing companies through very high execution. Okay. Our staff, the core staff is Alex and myself and one other senior consultant, and we work with up to 6 independent contractors at any given time, depending on how many projects we're managing. The software development product that we're going to talk about is being developed in conjunction with a partner company of ours that's outsourced to an Irish IT company. So the market opportunity profile, our background is manufacturing and American multinationals, and what everybody knows about those is their association with high productivity and their specialist disciplines like in high engineering, operations management, high levels of quality and supply chain Lean Six Sigma, and the systems that they use, MRP and ERP. The area or the world we live in at the moment is the service and knowledge force worker section, as I've said earlier. And if you look at manufacturing, it's 20% and dropping, and the service industry is at 65% and growing as a percentage of GDP in any developed world. And our experience over the last 5 years is one of low productivity with emerging specialist disciplines and emerging specialist systems, and therefore it's our target market. So to bring it all together, we're going to leverage our own personal backgrounds and the expertise that we've built up over the last 5 years in capturing traditional manufacturing techniques in terms of Lean Six Sigma methodologies and converting them into a structure that's workable within a service industry to deliver excellent results in their businesses, as we say, doubling their productivity in a very short period of time. There's 2 service and value proposition elements. Excuse me. The first one is the service product itself, and that is that we have developed this operations excellence methodology. We've tried and tested it in a number of companies now with 100% success over the last 5 years. It's a very structured approach to achieving and sustaining very high levels of productivity and business effectiveness. And it's particularly focused on service and knowledge worker areas. So the second element is the technology product, which we developed as a result of, I suppose, honing and developing the consulting service product. And the software product comes in support of that. And instead of working with, as we started off doing, instead of working with Excel spreadsheets and sometimes having to train people in Excel as well as train them in operations management and reporting, the service product or the software product takes people all the way through the stages of converting themselves into a strong and effective operations management function within their companies, working through their team leads. So the team leads of any particular division, whether in a bank it could be the mortgage division or the visa division, can work with the software to learn how to very, very quickly and effectively manage their capacity, manage their demand, and manage some very effective operations management reporting.
1 minute.
Okay. Again, the service product includes the best aspects of Lean and Six Sigma methodologies, and it delivers capacity management, demand management, work allocation, productivity, scheduling and forecasting.
Great stuff. Basically, we've identified there's about a 4 billion market in the key English-speaking countries, Ireland, UK, and the USA. As we said, if you look at the situation in Ireland, you've got 1.9 million workers, you've got 23 in the UK. If you take what we call the traded services sector, basically that works out to be about 60 million in Ireland, of which about 8.5 million is in financial services, which is where we have a core strength. In the UK, there's about 800 million revenue worth of business. That's based on a 1K per seat license for the application that we have. And if you're at in the US, it works out about 3.2. So we added up. There's some good numbers there that show there's a market opportunity out there of about 4 billion. Our own figures, we've been going pretty well over the last few years in terms of reasonable revenue growth and reasonable profitability. Where we're looking at now in terms of both the consultancy and the software sales, we're looking at these kind of numbers where we'd be able to get up to about 2.3 million in revenue, and it's split between the consulting and the software, giving us a target profitability in 2011 of about 1 million. Our customers to date have been primarily in the financial services sector, although we have included the construction industry and the clinical research business in the States, which is a big and very focused industry at the moment in terms of improving productivity. Our current software customers is, in Irish Life, we have 2 pilots in place at the moment. We've been working with them for the last 4 years on the consulting side of things, and they've now got those 2. The K4s, we are currently designing a customized solution. In other words, the solution that we have in place is not sufficient for them, and they've asked us to design a new solution, but the development at the moment would be implemented by a third party. And our market strategy is basically develop the existing financial services customer base, in which we're very strong, as we set up here. Distribution by other performance improvement consulting businesses, tier 1, 2 and 3, the major ones, the next tier and so on below that. And then there is this opportunity to develop outside the financial services industry. The investment required is basically, scenario 1 is organic growth through the Service Force and Knowledge Force applications in the financial services sector, both here and in the UK, and that we believe that that's where the amount of money that will be necessary over the next 2 years. The second scenario that we put in place is this situation that is arising with the clinical management industry in the States, where we've had a situation where K-Force have said to us, we really like your product, but it just wouldn't scale for what we want to do. So what we'd like you to do is you design the new solution, and we'll pay for the development of it via third party. Now, we have spoken to them about the possibility that we would we would pay for the development and license it back to them, in which case we're talking in the region of about a $500,000 license fee, with the opportunity to develop that application into other clinical services, trials management companies or similar type industries. So that's basically our pitch.